Hey everybody, this is Mr. Espinoza X.
And Mr. Gabe Guy Color back for another Doug Trio podcast, or Doug Duo podcast in this situation.
Yeah, this we're missing our other member, Ghostman. Unfortunately, he is out for the weekend, so we've decided, you know what, let's just go ahead and do just us two for now because there's been other moments where podcast hosts, we're missing a member. So I was all like, hey, let's join the club and be one of them.
Trust
So
me,
yeah.
you want to stick by a consistent schedule though and have to rely on multiple people. Let me tell you something though, that is a I don't recommend doing that though because oh my goodness. It's a headache though. You think you got something going and then one person has something unexpected pop up. Oh hey, how are you doing?
Hey, good. How are you?
Good. I'm the
Oh,
Any, sorry, Mom. Anyway, don't worry, that won't be in the final recording. But anyway, so for this topic,
All right.
go ahead.
Go ahead. So the topic for today is video game movies slash TV shows, mostly movies because we have mostly the movies on our list. With the release of so many great movies this week, especially one that kind of gives us, that, mean mug look is the reboot of Tomb Raider and stuff. And, we could just think right now like, oh my God, there has been so many bad movies based off video games and stuff. But to be honest with you guys, there's been some good ones too, And since the release of Rampage also coming up, starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and we've known the other video game movie The Rock was in, but we'll talk about that later. But anyway, pretty much real quick summary, we'll be talking about, certain topics. First, we're going to be starting out with best video game movie slash TV show, mostly movies. And then the second category was just going to be ones that we think were meh. And then the finale, which is the worst video game movie.
Oh, video game movies, though. It's a pretty iconic, though, situation, all things considered. There's been a lot of video games that have been based on movies that have not been very good. And, well, it hasn't been so great the other side around. But hey, there has been some hidden gems, though, when it's come down to it.
Yeah, and then, there's just... I think growing up, like in the 90s, was the wrong end of it too, because despite, I've been to witness to some just really bad ones and stuff like that. But as the years go by, I just starting to feel like, they're starting to get a little better. They just kind of needed a better direction. So
Quality
yeah.
control
So no
is
more.
starting to hit them.
Yeah. So no more time to waste. Let's go ahead and begin with best video game movie. So we're going to start off with, our number 4. So I'm going to talk about my number 4. Mr. Game Guy is going to talk about his number 4. I'm going to talk then after that, number 3. And he's going to talk about his number 3. On and so forth. So let's go ahead and begin this. You want to start with your number 4?
Number 4, right now, though, I just got to figure this out, though. I have my picture pulled out, though. So, okay. Number 4 movie, though. Let's see. To be fair, I have not seen many forms of video game movies, so get ready for kind of a cut and dry list, though that doesn't offer too much in varieties. But if I were to pick a number 4 out of all the movies, let's see. Crap. I don't remember this. I saw this movie a long time ago, but for the life of me, don't remember what it was. But I believe it was this animated movie based off a Street Fighter Alpha. But for the life of me, do not remember what the title was.
Was it Street Fighter Alpha Generations? Oh no, it was a Street Fighter Assassin's Fist. Yeah, we're keeping this live action. We're not doing animated ones.
Oh, we're not doing animated ones? Oh, because this one was animated.
Oh, never mind. I thought you were talking about Assassin's Fist. No, yeah, we're keeping this live action. We can't not animated.
Oh shoot! That's kind of oh crap. Oh
no,
shoot.
I mean you can still talk about it. You know what? Yeah, we could do animated, I guess. But most of my ones are live action. But yeah, we could talk about animated.
Sorry, I have not seen as many video game movies as you may think I have. I'm sorry.
No, yeah, no. Go ahead. It's fine. You could do it still.
All right, though. But I remember seeing this when I was much younger, though, before I actually became interested in the Street Fighter series as a whole. But from what I remember about it, though, it was alright for the most part, though, again, though, I only remember bits and pieces of it, though. Though I do remember the main highlight of it, though, being the, final fight scene, though, between, Ryu and Sagat near the end.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Just the entire thing was incredibly... I'm not even sure, like, again, though, like, my memory's very hazy right now. I should probably look it up, though, before we did this video, but, oh well, we don't plan these things ahead. We just do this for fun. We're not a professional podcast.
Right? We're just doing this really for fun. But yeah, I remember that scene. I think I know which one you're. I think it's the one based off of Street Fighter 2. In the beginning, it was actually Ryu against Sagat. It was just a really epic match. It was just kind of like how Ryu gave Sagat the scar and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a really good animated movie and stuff. When I remember when I was growing up, I literally, would always watch the heck out of it. Like I literally watch it like so many times. And then of course there was it was actually my first time. Well, I mean, and I know it's animated, but it was actually my first time, seeing boob. And what I mean by that, there's a hot shower scene with Chun-Li.
Oh. Oh, of course it is. Of course it is.
they always gotta expose Chun-Li for some reason, for some fan service.
It's always like, come on, like we have like 12 other characters who can do that. Oh my god, I can't believe I just said that.
There was a kick-ass scene with Cammy, snapping somebody's head off. So that was cool too. I guess that's
that.
with her legs too.
Oh my god.
It was crazy, but yeah. But anyway, let's go ahead and move on. So my number 4 is one where this is the movie that This is one of those games that I grew up watching and stuff. Mm-hmm. And, I actually thought the movie was, pretty good for its first movie and stuff. And I'm, of course, talking about Tomb Raider starring Angelina Jolie. This movie had some good action. It was pretty cheesy there was some cheesy moments. There really was. And but this was actually the movie that skyrocketed Angelina Jolie's career and stuff like that. And surprisingly enough, Daniel Craig, the guy who plays James Bond, is in it too. And it's crazy because you have Angelina Jolie, an American actress, mm-hmm. who has an English accent, with Daniel Craig, an English actor with an American accent. So, and there's moments where they actually break their accent and stuff. So, in the movie, it's funny because you could tell, like, they were having a contest, like, which accent could we make fun the most? So, yeah.
Okay. Which one can we make the most comedic?
Yeah. But the plot of the whole movie pretty much is that, I guess, the Illuminati is trying to get these pieces of the triangle together before, the planets align and, causes, the whole world destruction or something like that. It's a pretty complicated plot, but, a lot of people just watch it for, like, at least a fan service or just, the action of it. The action's pretty good. It was just, some cheesy moments. So, yeah. But that's all I got to say about the movie. It's a good watch.
Gotcha. It seems like it's another just here for Godzilla kind of moment, if you get what I mean by that.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, though, so on to my number 3. Let's see, where did I put my list? I never align these things correctly. Okay, where did I put it? Okay, so this one's going to be a controversial pick, though, and I know a lot of people are going to have problems with it, so bear with me on this one. But I'm going to put the live-action Super Mario Bros. Movie from 1993. Now,
you thought that movie was good?
Hear me out on this. I'm probably rating this a lot differently than you are. I fully acknowledge it's a bad movie that's a complete product of its time that had a lot of problems with it. But my God, I would be lying to myself if I said I still do not have fun watching it.
To be honest with you, yeah, I actually did have fun watching it too.
I guess if you want to go off of actual quality of a film, no, this is not a good movie. But oh my goodness, that one time we watched it on Rabbit with Ghostman, I just had an absolute blast with it. It's like watching a time capsule though, just seeing everything though that was embedded in the '90s, just full on, flat out, just lives out in that film.
It does, dude. Like literally, you guys they had talents like John Leguizamo, Bob Hoskins, and Dennis Hopper, and oh my God, it was just the direction of the movie is just the worst thing ever. And you know it's a really bad movie when freaking Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo were drunk during takes. So yeah, but it was still enjoyable for it, and a lot of the movies I have listed here are mostly like the ones that I enjoy, but I know that are really bad.
Mhm. It just really comes down to like some of these things though. When do you enjoy a film though because it's actually a good film, or do you enjoy it though just because of some other factor that isn't pure quality?
Right?
But oh well, the Super
Oh
Mario Bros.
man.
Movie, there's so much about it that does not work though, but it's still a blast to see though. Just one thing that I don't hear anybody talk about though, but I find it weird though how Mario and Luigi are supposedly Italian plumbers, yet the two actors who played them are not Italian at all.
No, I think they like in the whole movie they like speak in a Brooklyn accent, if anything.
Hmm. So oh well. Anyway, that's my role for today. So well, not role for today, but you get what I mean.
Yeah. But
Anyway, your turn.
anyway, my number three movie, and this is one of those movies that um, I one of the games that I really did enjoy the series and stuff, but the last game that came out for it was just really terrible, and we've just never have seen the any life of this game, and thanks to this one particular game called Assassin's Creed, and I'm of course talking about Prince of Persia, the movie.
Ooh.
Yes, I thought this movie was good. Bite me. It was okay. It was a good action movie. I mean, the only downside of it though is that maybe because Prince of Persia's are the games are meant to be rated M for mature,
Hmm.
but this movie was made by Disney, and that's what literally killed it for me. Even though it did have some pretty good action, but with just the whole they literally casted an American actor to play the lead role, and I'm like, really? Of course, I'm talking about Jake Gyllenhaal. Not that I'm saying Jake Gyllenhaal did a really bad job. He did pretty good. It's just that they could have probably casted, a Persian, like an Indian actor from or a Persian actor, something like that. You know what I mean? I
Hmm.
don't know why they had to cast like an American actor, and that's what literally affects most of these video game movies, based off their origin is that they literally get somebody else from another country, pretty much. And of course, I'm talking about one particular movie that was supposed to be an American character, but they casted a Belgium actor. But more on that when we get to there. But anyway, this movie kind of followed the game where it's based off the dagger, the sands of time, where you're able to like reverse time and stuff just in case you die, like in the game, like if you fall into a pit, you can just reverse time and then just start all over and stuff. They got some good actors too. They also had Ben Kingsley to play the villain and stuff like that. And I don't know what it is, but I always love it when Ben Kingsley is always the villain in every single movie. This guy literally did so well and stuff. He really had fun with his part and everything, and it was just really crazy. Yeah, I love Ben Kingsley like as an actor, especially when he's like casted as a villain role, except the one where he played the Mandarin in Iron Man 3. Yeah, but it sort of followed the source material, but not really. But it was still a good movie. It was very enjoyable and stuff. The lead actress in there too, I forgot her name. I don't know what character she was supposed to play and stuff, but she did good too. So yeah, and there was some funny moments too. So yeah, but yeah, number three, Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time.
Gotcha. Alrighty, though, so for my next entry, though, this one, though, might be a little repetitive to some people, but then again, though, might be considering a surprise, though, considering how obscure this is. But mine would have to go to the Super Mario Brothers anime that was released only a year after the game.
Oh,
Were you not aware of that?
no, I wasn't aware of that.
Yes, it's a very from. I have the title written up here though, and I'm going to butcher it like hell. But apparently, it's called Super Mario Brothers Peach Haim Kuyashotsu Daiki Saka Susen. I most likely butchered that. I'll just put
And
it
it's
up.
Japanese.
Yes, it is. It was never released in a. It was never. It never had an American dub. It was never released in America or any other continent. As far as I'm aware, that was translated. I'll put it up on screen right now so you can read it though. So that's probably the biggest reason why people do not know why it existed. Because as far as I'm aware, it's a Japan exclusive.
Yeah, it does sound Japan-y.
However, I did see a bootlegged version though that was subbed on YouTube a while back, and from what I remembered about it though, honestly, it wasn't half bad. I mean, it wasn't top tier quality though when it comes down to most good famous animes, but it manages to tell a fairly entertaining story about how the original Super Mario Bros. Went though if it was more of a cohesive narrative rather than just go from point A to point B and simple as that. If you want to check it out, I would recommend looking it up, though. But I guess I don't really have too much to say about it otherwise, though, that, well, it's Super Mario Brothers as an anime. That's all I can really say. Mario is Mario. Luigi is, well, basically Luigi before Luigi's Mansion. It's a strange thing, though. I don't know. In my opinion, I think the movie's just okay, though, but compared to how many other video game movies I have not seen, this one kind of made number 2 by default. But oh well, that's all I gotta say about that.
Alrighty, so my number 2 has to go, and if you guys know me personally, I'm a really big fighting game fan, and this movie was not disappointed, even though other people think that it was even though the nostalgia critic said that he thought it was a really bad movie. I'm of
Oh, well,
course
he
talking
can be
about
kind
the
of
first Mortal
opinionated.
Kombat. Yeah, I'm of course talking about the first Mortal Kombat movie. This movie was awesome. I literally thought it was great. It was supposed like I always thought, if they ever gonna make a movie based off of a fighting game, they would have to keep it like, our heroes are entering a tournament that they have to go to in order to save, Earth Realm and stuff like that.
Hmm.
And that's how it was. It was a tournament type movie and stuff like that. You see different matches and everything from, favorable characters, some random dudes going up against your favorite character, like Liu Kang going up against this random dude with the dreads and stuff like that. And then like at the end, Shang Tsung just comes up and steals his soul and stuff like that. But I thought the movie was, really good because, the action, the fighting, even though some of the CGI was pretty bad. So let's just say about that. So what
Eh,
they did with what they did with Reptiles, I like, oh God, what did they do to him? But
it's
yeah,
CGI.
I don't necessarily remember the names of the actors, but I do remember the person playing Shang Tsung because he's mostly in a lot of like Japanese movies, like martial art movies and stuff like that. He did good as Shang Tsung, yeah, and I think you could always make like meme cards out of this. What every line he says, like "It has begun" or "Finish him," or like it's just he just did really good and stuff. But yeah, the only downside of it was that again it was too much. There was too much fighting scenes, and it just really never like developed to like to have developed like an actual plot of the movie besides oh Earthrealm is in trouble, we have to save the world and stuff like that. Like there's no character development. That's another thing too, besides in the beginning, like how Raiden recruits the heroes of Earthrealm like Sonya Blade, Liu Kang, Johnny Cage and stuff. And of course and my only other downside of it is that
Hmm.
Scorpion and Sub-Zero are not friends. They are mortal enemies trying to kill each other. In this movie, they team up. I don't know why, but it's like these are one of my two favorite characters in the movie, and they literally went out quickly like pussies. Excuse my language.
No worries though. Trust me, there's a video on my channel though that has the N word on it, so I think you're fine. I think you're fine. And then,
God.
if it makes you feel any better, it wasn't said by me.
Oh, okay, all right, good. But yeah, they went out.
I just scared away all the audience from just that comment I made.
Yeah, but
I'm sorry.
Yeah, they went out like pussies, but it was funny though seeing Johnny Cage against Scorpion. That fight scene was just pretty funny, especially that part where he just kept kicking him. It was so funny, dude. Like, but yeah, it was still a good movie. You know, it's really brought up some really good nostalgia every time I watch it. But who can forget about the damn theme song? Mortal Kombat.
Oh my God. If there's one thing that movie will be remembered for, it's that.
Yeah, exactly. This song kept playing in every single radio station at that time. Every time that song would go on, I would just stand up, you know, pretend I'm fighting somebody. Bah, bah, bah. My brothers were jumping, we're beating up each other.
You can't
it was
forget
that
it.
intense. Oh man, that music is just awesome, dude. And I always like whenever I feel like I want to hear that song, and I always have it on freaking repeat. And then I especially like that moment where they named like the characters like Kano, Liu Kang, Sub-Zero. I'm like, oh God, Johnny Cage. Like, oh my God, dude, that's just that was a highlight for the movie right there. It's just that song, and it just I think that's what makes it better and stuff. But yeah. But anyway, number 2, Mortal Kombat.
Gotcha. All right, though. Now, finally, though, this one actually came to a surprise to me at first, though, because I literally just found out something, though, that kind of just screwed up my whole plan with what I was going with, though. But my number 1, though, favorite video game movie from what I've seen so far, and this is kind of a screw up, though, but I'm just going to stick with it anyway. Probably that Sonic the Hedgehog movie, though, that features him fighting, that Sonic the Hedgehog anime that features him fighting Metal Sonic.
Oh, dude, I love that one. That was, oh my God, I really love that one.
I liked that too, but want to know the problem? Want to know what the problem with that is?
I'll probably agree with it, but go ahead.
The problem with it, though, is that technically it wasn't a movie. It was just an anime that had 2 episodes.
Oh, are you serious? I remember like when I saw the trailer of it, I'm like, oh, watch this. So, you know, I looked it up and it literally was like a full-on movie and stuff like that. I didn't think it was just like a series, like a limited series or just had 2 episodes.
Yeah, I thought that too, but apparently from the looks of it, it's just known as Sonic the Hedgehog OVA. But from the sound of multiple different sources I'm hearing, though, it was just a 2 episodes anime, so that kind of throws my plan out the window of it being a movie. But you wouldn't scratch that. I already have it as my number 1. I'm going to stick with it. I'm not going to cop out on it. Here it is. I'll put it up on screen. Anyway, why do I consider it the best video game movie? Well, simply put, it's Sonic the Hedgehog as a movie. That's basically what it is, just Sonic the Hedgehog as a movie. It's fun, it's frantic, it's fast, it's got the characters you all know and love, acting as the characters you know and love. It's Sonic the Hedgehog.
I remember one scene too where I guess the girl that Sonic say that, you know, the girl has a crush on and stuff like that, all of a sudden Tails saves her and now he's like has a crush on Tails now. I also remember that scene where they crash into together and like Knuckles is all like, Tails, get off, and Tails like Tails' voice is just like sounds like he has a cold. Like, I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry, Knuckles. There's nothing much I can do.
And then Knuckles is all like, I never knew you swooped that low.
You don't know me, Knuckles.
Like he literally Tails literally sounds like he's having a cold, and I'm like, wow. But it to a point, it was cute, you know. I really thought it was cute that they put him that voice. So yeah.
Oh gosh. Well. Anyway, though, that's all I gotta say from that. Though it's to me, it's just a fun movie. It's got a lot of fun scenes, and well, I should probably just get this out of the way though before I end it though. But it's just got a lot of entertaining scenes. It's Sonic the Hedgehog, and to me, it has probably one of the most memorable Sonic the Hedgehog quotes ever. You think you may know everything I'm going to do, but that doesn't matter since I know everything you're going to do. Strange, isn't it?
Oh boy.
The line itself is
Alrighty
just so
then.
corny, but at the same time, it just works so well.
Right. All right. So, my number one best video game movie. Honestly, it isn't actually a feature-length movie. It's actually a fan-made movie that came out that was literally hype. Like, okay, so the way it started, these two guys that were fan of the games literally, made like a fan-made trailer on YouTube. It got called Street Fighter Legacy, and it was like it got so many views, so many likes that people wanted more and stuff. And then of course a couple years later, Capcom saw they decided, you know what, let's go ahead and make this like a feature length movie and stuff like that. Well, not feature length, but like fan made movie and stuff like that. So they started a Kickstarter and everything, and apparently I guess the trailer got so popular that Capcom really liked it that they decided, you know what, cancel your Kickstarter. We're gonna pay the funds for this movie. And I'm like, oh my god!
It's a
And so like how
reality.
yes, and then I'm of course talking about, and then thus began Street Fighter Assassin's Fist. This movie is pretty much takes place during the Alpha series somewhat. This one is pretty much before the Alpha series, if anything. But in this one, it literally takes like the origins of Ryu and Ken, and pretty much how they started, learning their technique called the Ansatsu Ken fighting style, or in translation is Assassin's Fist. The reason that they call it Assassin's Fist is because their fighting style is known for just assassinations and killing people pretty much. And their master the master before their master Gotetsu taught Ryu and Ken's master Goken, and of course alongside his brother Goki, later known as Akuma, and stuff. It goes from it's like English. I can speak English, but I guess when they start doing the flashbacks and stuff like that
Hmm.
for Kuma and Goken, they literally just speak Japanese and stuff. But I was okay with it because they're from Japan, so I didn't really mind it at all. So yeah, but I knew as soon as Ken would come in, they would start speaking English and all that stuff. So yeah, the actors playing Ryu and Ken, I think the guy playing Ryu, his name is Mike Mo. Many of you guys aren't really familiar. I'm not really familiar with him, but he appeared in that Inhumans TV show where he played that one green Submariner character. I forgot his name, but yeah, he played good as Ryu. I remembered him from many martial arts movies that were only released in Japan, but when they casted him as Ryu, yeah, it was just he did a good job. He really did. The guy playing Ken, and this is what's really funny, is that the wig they have on Ken was just really out of place. They could have, I don't know, the actor playing Ken could have grew out his hair, but and still, he still did good. He played as a good Ken. He played a very arrogant Ken, and I think that's what my only downside of it, because it made it seem like Ken was just moaning and whining. I'm like, yeah, 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 yeah. You're never getting my way. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Why are you not teaching me the Hadouken, Master Goken? Yeah, 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 yeah.
Actually,
Pretty
no, that's
much.
Dan. Technically, you're doing more of an accurate representation of Dan.
But it's funny though because there is some Easter eggs and stuff like that. They do when they go to the temple where Goken was trained from. and stuff. And this was like a really forbidden place because of, an incident that happened between Akuma and their master Gotetsu and stuff. Like the match was just, very awesome. And then like when Akuma, like this is when Goki fully transformed as Akuma thanks to the Satsui no Hado. And he literally kills him, but you could see his face was just showing his skull, and I'm like, oh my god, that's so gross. Yeah, dude, like it was so gross. And this dude literally finishes him off just the worst way possible. And then he takes his and this is where how Kuma has his beaded necklace, big brown giant beaded necklace and stuff. Is of course from his master Gotetsu and stuff like that. And of course he puts up his hair and he has he's rocking the Kuma ponytail and stuff like that. And it's just really awesome, especially like right after they put the makeup on him and stuff like that. Like the makeup, like for a fan movie, the makeup was awesome on Akuma. Like it literally looked like Akuma from the games. That's one thing I gotta talk about. But yeah, so pretty much the fighting scenes. Oh my god, the fighting scenes literally look like the ones from the video game. And that's what the one I really praise for about this movie is because of that. Because if you look compared to the mechanics of every Street Fighter game, you would notice the mechanics that they have for this movie. They literally copied the fighting style. And that's what really makes it awesome. You have freaking alpha poses, alpha counters, and everything like that. It works really awesome, And I really do praise this fan movie. You could literally look it up, probably like around YouTube or, look it up like in the PlayStation Store if you guys don't want to like rent it at all. Just look it up on your whatever website you use to watch your movies or TV shows, You'll find it there. And it's definitely recommend it. Really do. It's really awesome. But yeah, that's all I got to say about it. But yeah, number 1, Street Fighter, Assassin's Fist.
There you go. I have not seen that movie, so I really wish I could talk about it with you, though. But hey, you know what? As long as we got one voice about it, though, that's all we need.
Right? Alrighty then.
All right.
So next topic is our meh.
Our meh movies? Oh dear. I thought we were Oh, sorry. I thought we were immediately going to worst. Sorry.
We could. Oh, you know what? Yeah, let's go ahead and do worst now.
Because I don't have a meh list. I'm sorry.
No, yeah. No, we could do a worse one. Anyway, forget the meh. We're going to worse ones. So you want to go ahead and get this started?
Sure. All right. So as for the worst ones, okay, starting off with number 4, the least worst out of what I have aligned, has to go to Angry Birds, the movie. Remember when that was the thing?
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
I remember that was this. Okay, you literally make a movie about a game that died probably like 4 years ago. It's not gonna do well. So let's putting it out there. I'm looking at you, Slender Man movie.
Oh God. You basically nailed it. You basically nailed it what I was going to say about it, though. But I guess I'll give my 2 cents on the subject. Oh my god, it's just... If this movie came out earlier when the craze was still pretty big, I can understand why it was made the way it was. But oh my goodness, they were just way too late when it came out with it. But anyway, out of complete curiosity, I paid $9 just to see this movie, though. I did not...
Oh, God.
I felt bad. I told my mother, hey, I'll pay for my ticket. You can pay for your ticket. And I saw the movie, and in all honesty, to give credit where credit is due, it's not the worst thing in the world. It's like when it comes down to like movies that are not good, it's just sort of kind of like a movie that's it's not good, but it won't leave you scarred or anything like that. It's just very mellow when it comes down to it. It's just a movie that just tries to be funny, and it's not. That's all I got from it, though.
Yeah, and I think that's like what the movie I felt for, because I thought like this movie literally came out when the the craze of it just died down. Like I see nobody ever playing like Angry Birds at all. Like every time I'm watching a movie, there would be like, I don't know, way before this whole craze happened, like, or in TV shows, like I would watch like, oh, everybody's, making an Angry Bird joke and stuff like that. But this one, it's just died down, and then it's like I had no interest in watching this movie. I mean, I did play the game, but I just got bored of it because, honestly, I really don't watch, I really don't play mobile games that much and stuff. But I think this movie would have worked when, the whole craze was still alive. And I think that's what I'm scared for, the Slender Man, because Slender Man is one of my favorite creepypasta stories and stuff like that. I'm also a big fan of the game. But I'm just really scared for the movie because, yeah, like, nobody talks about any of those anymore. You know what I mean?
Like
No one like
it
no
died
one.
out. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Sorry. Just to give my 2 cents on Slender Man, it died out a while ago, and then Five Nights at Freddy's became the huge craze, and now Five Nights at Freddy's has died out. So, like, what's going to be the next horror craze?
Yeah, I don't get it. Like it'll probably be like 5 years until probably make a freaking Five Nights at Freddy's movie or
Oh
something.
my
Oh my
god.
God.
Yeah, that movie's going to come out when nobody cares about the series anymore.
Exactly.
But yeah, just I guess back to Angry Birds, I guess though. But the film itself, though, it's just to me just another just junky kids movie that you just go over to see it though, just to shut your kids up though. And I'm not saying you should necessarily treat this give your kids the opportunity to watch this. Like if there's literally nothing else better out there, then it's not the worst thing in the world. But if you have other options for kids movie like The Land Before Time or Alice in Wonderland or Wizard of Oz or whatever, go show them instead of this, though. It's just a very not interesting movie, in my opinion. In fact, I'm not even really sure if I would say, like, the birds in the movie are really angry. Like, the angriest bird being the red one, though, if anything, he's just more bitterly sarcastic, if anything. He's not even really angry. But oh well. It's a mellow film. It didn't impress me in any way. I don't feel terrible about seeing it, but I don't recommend going out of your way to pay, theater viewings for it, though. Not that you could see it in theater anyway, but you get what I mean.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's my fourth worst.
Okay, so my fourth worst movie, and I think it's gonna be a tie, actually, between these other movies. And I'm also a big fan of the game series. I'm of course talking about Resident Evil Extinction through Resident Evil the final chapter. Okay.
Continue on.
Alrighty. So I'll admit I actually thought the first two movies were good. I thought, it took a different approach from the games, and, I honestly thought, okay, I really don't mind that. But, oh my gosh. And when it made the third one, which is Extinction, I was just really, really disappointed and stuff like that. And I don't know what happened. And then, I thought, okay, maybe this is the last movie that they'll ever do. No, they make Resident Evil, I believe it was... Resident Evil, oh shoot, I forgot what movie was it. Anyway, I'm just gonna do like Resident Evil 4, I believe. So I forgot the whole movie, but it's just to the point, they make one movie, you think it's over, but they keep continuing it on and on and on and on. And it's like, it just gets boring, and it's like, oh yeah, it was Afterlife, actually. So after that, it was Resident Evil Afterlife. And I think Afterlife really pissed me off more because, they actually finally brought in Chris Redfield. And then they have the actor playing him was Wentworth Miller. Maybe you guys are familiar with him. He was the star of Prison Break. And he plays Captain Cold in the DC CW TV shows. But, I mean, it was just, like, I guess he was there to progress the plot. And, they just, I don't know, like with these movies, they give the lead actress, Mila Jovovich, just, you know, because I guess the director is married to the lead actress, which is Mila Jovovich, and I
Hmm.
guess it was a good idea. Hey, like, let's forget about all these other main characters from the game and make my wife, the main character, make her like a character that wasn't even in the games. And that's what literally like, oh my God, dude, like I just hopefully, when Netflix does their TV shows for Resident Evil, I just hope that it's just, better than what these piece of trash movie. Oh, don't even get me started with the final chapter. I was all like, hopefully this stays the freaking final chapter.
Hey, I just hope.
Oh,
I just hope. I'm sorry. Finish what you were saying.
no, go ahead. Sorry.
Sorry, we do this all the time though, so apologies for this. But anyway, I just really hope though the Netflix series though just is a significant improvement. Like hell, I don't care what anybody says. I'll take it if it's based off of Resident Evil 7. I'll take that.
Right? Like, I wouldn't mind them if they started all over from Resident Evil 1. Like, I honestly don't, because, you have, you know, oh my gosh, like you had Chris Redfield, Jill Valentine, but you don't add him in the first movie. You wait until the second movie to add Jill Valentine, but she doesn't do anything. Oh yeah, she has the same costume like she wears in the game and stuff like that, but no.
Whoa.
And that's one thing you shouldn't be suckered in, and of course I'm always suckered in anyway because whenever I look at the character that they're actually dressed like in the game, I'm always suckered in like, oh maybe I'll give this a chance, but nope, still bad. But yeah, and then after that, just Extinction was just terrible. And then Afterlife was okay, I guess, but it was just like I do not forgive what they did to Chris Redfield and stuff. Like we literally don't see him ever again. Like that final part where they blow up and stuff. Like I guess the Umbrella Corporation blow them up, and then we never hear him again. But we do hear about Claire Redfield, like and I believe in the final chapter as well and stuff. And then it's just but yeah, but that's pretty much all I gotta say about the Resident Evil movies. Extinction through the final chapter.
Well, we're already down to number 4, and we're already getting to the terrible stuff. Oh dear.
Or, right.
I guess I'll move on to mine. Mine's a lot more, from the sound of it, mine seems to be a lot more toned down compared to yours, though, because this is, I guess I'll move on to number 3, though. But my number 3 on terrible movies goes to, and this one might be an oddity to some people, though, but mine goes to Pokemon Giratina and the Sky Warrior. Now, some people may consider this cheating, considering that the Pokemon anime is more of just the Pokemon anime. It's more of its own thing rather than a video game movie. But I'm going to count it as a video game movie since while Pokemon the anime does stand on its own toes and it manages to keep itself going as a series, it still did come after the game. It still is based off the game, so I'm counting it as a video game movie. I know it sounds like I'm making a lot of exceptions when it comes down to it, though, but
I with the Pokemon movies, I literally stopped watching it after uh you know what? I actually didn't. I think I did see Giratina and the Sky Warriors actually. I remember I was actually hyped up about. I think that was the last Pokemon movie I've seen, and stuff. I could kind of agree with you. It was just, I think it was at that point where I think Pokemon the anime should have just died, but apparently they're still, going on based off, the games and stuff like that. I guess right now they're in the Alola region right now and stuff. I guess they
Mhm.
recently brought back Misty and Brock. I think what they're trying to do is bring back the older viewers, to get suckered in and stuff. But honestly, I just
Mhm.
don't have any more interest in the newer Pokemon movie. I guess TV shows because I stopped watching it right after
Diamond and
I
Pearl.
believe Advanced Battle was Advanced Battle, the last one where they the Hoenn region and stuff.
Oh yeah.
I think it was Advanced Battle. I literally stopped watching it after that and stuff. Um,
Advanced.
I mean, I've seen galactic battles here and there and stuff like that. But when they were gonna make a movie about this one, I'm like, okay, I'll give it a chance. But yeah, it was just
Uh,
complicated plot. Yeah.
Jeez. Like, I still think, I don't know, in my opinion, I think Pokemon had a pretty, well, the first series, a lot of people love it to death, though. I think the original, Indigo Plateau thing was good. Orange Island was good. Johto was not as good, but still good. Advanced was good. And then I think it really started to dim down, though, once it made to Diamond and Pearl.
Right.
Anyway, I should probably talk about the movie itself, though. Giratina and the Sky Warriors. Oh dear. When it comes down to Pokemon movies, that have unlikable characters, because I know one thing that a lot of people love to joke about in the anime is how much Ash makes very, very questionable decisions. But let me tell you, this one, when it comes down to the Pokemon anime, probably introduced my least favorite character in general. Oh my god, Shaman. Shaman is just the embodiment of an entitled little kid that always gets their way, and they never get their comeuppance. I hate Shaman.
I thought Shaman was cute in that movie. I could get where you're coming from.
She's cute, but she has the most dickish, entitled personality. It always feels like everybody is just supposed to be at her feet kissing it. It's like, I don't like this character. Stop acting like I have to care for you when I don't.
Right? Oh my gosh, dude.
Oh my god. That's the one thing I really hate about characters. I hate it about characters when they just act completely jerkish for basically no good reason. There's never an explanation why. Like, okay, I don't always expect characters to have a good reason why they act the way they do, but at least I want to understand why they act like that. If I can at least have that, I'm good. If I can at least have a connection, then I'm okay with that. There's no connection for why Shaman acts like a jerk. She's just the way she is, though, and I'm just thinking, oh. But aside from that, everything else about the movie is just, Oh, there's a cool scene. That's all I gotta say about it.
That's how I felt too. Yeah, it's just, yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean. It was when I watched it, I think it was like around Cartoon Network too. It was just there were some really cheesy moments and stuff like that. And I do agree, Shaman in there, like just really dickish move and stuff like that. Yeah, I could agree with you. So yeah, that's all I have to say about it.
Anyway, next entry, the next one is probably way more pleasant than this.
Okay, so my number three, and honestly, with you guys right now, I never played the game my whole life. I mean, I've had people from school play this game, and they actually made a club about it. I'm of course talking about the adaptation of Dungeons and Dragons.
Ooh.
Yes, this movie came out a year before the first Lord of the Rings movie came out, and it was literally made by the same studio that literally made Lord of the Rings, which was New Line Cinema.
Oh.
But it's just it's a really bad one, but I'll have to say, and I still enjoy it every single time. Freaking Nostalgia Critic did a review about this movie, and I agree with him in some points. And of course, the best part about it though was of course Jeremy Irons as Protheon. Oh my god! Let me tell you, Jeremy Irons. This is the time where Jeremy Irons. The inability to pick good movies right after he started in The Lion King as Scar. After that, he literally was just in really bad movies. But in this one, he was just he was having fun with it. He knew that he was going to be in a bad movie. So he was like, you know what? Forget this. I'm going to, overact throughout my whole scenes. Like, I think like during the final act, when he's summoning the dragons and stuff like that, he literally like sounded like he was having an orgasm every single time. like if you've seen this movie, you would know his lines throughout the whole damn thing. Let the blood rain from the sky.
Oh my god, and it's that. I just wanted to be sure we were on the same page. It's that Dragon. I remember that movie. I can't breathe. Oh, 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 I'm not gonna say anything, or else I'm gonna turn blue. Okay.
Like you could literally make trading cards out of the stuff he says in the movie, especially that in the beginning. The
Oh, no, 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 stop! 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 Oh, uh, Jeremy Irons makes that movie worth watching. It's a bad movie, but he makes that movie worth watching.
He does, dude. Like he literally does. Like, oh my God. Like the scenes he's in, the stuff that he does is just over the top, overacting. And I'm like, how did this guy won an Oscar for his performance? And I forgot what movie he was in that he won an Oscar. But oh my God, dude. Like this guy, just a really great actor. But, his, filmography says otherwise. And, he just had so many inability to just pick good movies to star in. And it's just some movies that in those bad movies, he literally makes it better, just by, his overacting. And this one is the example of it. Oh. And it literally makes you forget about how terrible the other actors are in the movie. Everyone talks about over the top Jeremy Irons is this movie, that nobody talks about the other actors in the movie. The guy who plays Ridley, I don't know if Ridley's in the game or anything like that, or, they just make up characters and stuff like that. I guess that's what Dungeons and Dragons is. You make up a character name or something like that. I guess...
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, sorry.
I find that absolutely ironic, though, that there's a character in a Dungeons & Dragons movie named Ridley, and they did not once make a single Metroid joke. That would have been perfect.
For real. But yeah, I mean, it's just Ridley and then his partner Snails were forgettable. I mean, yeah, you have like Marlon Wayans in the movie playing that Snails, but it's like, I guess. Snails in that movie was very annoying. He really was. He wasn't really that funny. And this is like, at the time where Marlon Wayans was just, casted as just annoying character and just everyone wanted him to die. And, oh gosh, he actually dies in the movie. So, after watching that, I was like, never mind.
Okay,
but,
never mind. Thank you for accomplishing my wishes, movie.
Exactly. And then I'm, of course, talking about this other dude. The character's name is Damodar. And he's like, the right-hand man of Protheon, the character that Jeremy Irons plays. Why you gotta give him blue lipstick?
I hate to say it, it sounds childish to constantly keep pointing it out, but it's so freaking noticeable. I can't take my eyes off of it.
Like, I'm literally looking right there. I'm like, it's an eyesore. I'm always looking at this dude. I'm like, you got something in your lips, dude.
Did he have nothing else in the bathroom to put on his oh, I'm out of chapstick. This blue lipstick will do.
For real. But I mean, this character literally was just what the heck. And then in some points, I think a Nostalgia Critic also pointed out this as well. Just, giving out orders to the other people. He just says it so damn slow. Get them now, or you will face a far worse fate than what has been brought upon me. He just says it slow. I'm like, okay, guy, can you just hurry up, so we can catch these guys and stuff? So, oh my God, dude.
I think, but can you just speed that up? I mean, they're kind of getting away.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just, it's the lipstick. It's an eyesore, and I'm just like, oh my God, why did they do this to this guy? And it's besides Jeremy Irons and Marlon Wayans, we literally don't see any anything else these guys do. We never hear what the guy who played Damodar did after this movie. I think their careers were just Ugh.
That
And
scene where you
then,
see him getting thrown off when he's getting thrown off the tower, that's basically a visual summary of his career. Oh my
like,
god.
there it goes. Whee! Bye-bye,
Uh,
Hollywood.
we should probably move on though because oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
We could talk about the whole movie all we like, but yeah. Anyway, Dungeons and Dragons is my number 3.
Okay. Bad movie. So much fun to watch. Next entry. Okay. Here we move on to probably a less interesting entry considering that not too many people know about this. Though, to be fair, if not too many people know about this, how the hell did this get a movie in the first place? My number 2 entry goes to Io Oni, the movie. Okay, so a little background. Do you know what Io Oni is?
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it? I don't blame you. Not many people have heard of it outside of this. Io Oni is a RPG Maker game. It's a horror game done in RPG Maker, though, so I can understand why RPG Maker games are not the most popular form of video games out there, but they give you some kind of perspective on it. In the original game, it basically has this synopsis. 4 middle schoolers hear about an abandoned house. They decide, an abandoned house out in the middle of nowhere that has a lot of horrible legends about it. Let's go in it. They go inside. They stay in there for about a minute. Something bad happens. The group gets separated. There's a monster loot. That's basically the entire game. You're just in a house. You're being chased by a monster, which, I'm not gonna lie, looks almost kind of like a photoshopped Nicolas Cage. In fact, I think I'll even get a picture of what it looks like right now. Because the monster itself, though, is just so laughably goofy. It's kind of hard to take it seriously. Let's see if I can get a picture of it. But anyway, you're being chased by something that looks like a photoshopped Nicolas Cage. I'm posting it in the chat right now, though, so keep your eyes peeled for it.
Oh, God.
That's what it looks like. You're being chased by that throughout the entire... Okay, admittedly, it is kind of disturbing, but not for the way it was probably intended. So anyway, that's what the entire game is. You're just going for the game, just trying to avoid this monster that appears every so often. You get out of the house, your friends are all dead, but you survive, and then you come to the conclusion, yeah, maybe that was kind of a stupid idea of what I did. We probably shouldn't do that. So they made a movie based on that. And,
oh, God.
Oh, my God. If the original game did not have much substance behind it, they basically tried to do everything they can to add death behind it. And it just resulted in excuse my language, in a big clusterfuck. So, just the plotline of the movie. Apparently, the original creator of the game, of the Io Oni game, hears about a haunted mansion with a monster inside. He decides, this sounds a lot like a game I made. I think I'm going to go ahead and visit this. Surely nothing wrong can come from this. He goes in it. They enter the house. They get separated. A bunch of people start freaking out. Some of the teenagers go missing. And apparently they're hearing a bunch of roaring and smashing. And they're thinking, this is odd. This sounds a lot like the game I made. Maybe we should get the hell out of here. Nah, let's not do that. So they go throughout the movie, and they eventually come across the monster itself. And I'm going to see if I can try to find a picture of it right now, of how it appears in the movie.
Oh, God, I'm not prepared for it.
You won't be prepared. You won't be prepared. Where is it?
Oh, God, he found it. He found it, guys. He found it.
Prepare yourself.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, what the fuck is that?
That's how it appears in the movie. So they get chased around by that thing. The first time they encounter it, though, it's speaking Japanese. Apparently this thing knows how to talk. And it's just...
Oh, shoot. No, go ahead. Sorry about that. No, yeah. No, you go ahead.
So, they're being chased by that thing the entire point. It looks goofy as hell. It waddles around on a head it could barely support. And just to
It looks like a constipated Squidward. It went from Nicolas Cage to a constipated Squidward in the movie.
To a bald Squidward.
Like it's just ready to poop, but it can't, so it's angry.
Okay, I'm just gonna wrap this up because I'm going up on a long time. But anyway, they continue that throughout the film. There's some hidden plot line about something I don't know what the hell it is, and it's revealed that the creator of the game is actually evil. Like he knew about this, and he was just tricking these people just so they would die from this monster. And so they end
Oh,
up chasing him down a hall because he lied to them. They go down to the side of the hall, and then he just says, "Oh wait, I don't exist," and then he disappears.
oh
He just
God.
literally disappears like that. That's the actual exclamation. Like, oh, I don't exist. Bye. Boop. He's gone. And
Wow,
then
that is freaking.
that's the movie. It's a terrible
Oh,
freaking movie. It's such a terrible movie.
oh man.
That's all I gotta
Okay.
say. It's just a movie that makes no goddamn sense. And it for next entry.
Next entry. All right, so my number two movie, and I think I kind of was debating between these two movies. It was either Street Fighter, the first movie that came out, or Street Fighter: The Legacy of Chun-Li. I kind of had which one I hated the more, and I mean, I couldn't stay angry at the first Street Fighter movie because honestly, I thought it was okay. So, oh my God. Anyway, he showed a photo of the damn constipated Squidward. But
You can
yeah,
make a meme
so
off of that. You can make a meme off of that damn picture.
here's Squidward.
Okay. Okay, there's one more, and then I'll stop.
Okay, okay. Oh my God, dude.
Hey, baby,
What?
how you doing?
Oh
Okay,
God.
okay. Anyway, next. Okay, so The Legend of Chun-Li.
So yeah, so I mean, I thought the first movie was okay. Like the only disappointing thing was, yeah, they casted, they, you know, when if Ryu and Ken are supposed to be main characters, this is where, I guess the only reason Guile was the main character of the movie was, of course, the actor playing him, Jean-Claude Van Damme. Yes, the action star, the most arrogant action star ever. Before that movie was made, they were thinking about having Ryu and Ken as the main character, but they were going to cast Jean-Claude Van Damme as Guile, but, you know, just Jean-Claude being the most egotistical action star ever, like literally, like, wanted him to be that lead actor. So they gave it to him anyway. But still, it was okay. But I'm of course gonna talk my ad. Street Fighter: The Legacy of Chun-Li. Oh boy, there's just so many problems with this movie. Beginning with the actress playing as Chun-Li. Many of you guys maybe are familiar with her. For those who watch Smallville, the girl who plays what's her name again? I forgot the character's name. Oh yeah, so actress who plays her is Christine Kruick, and she plays Chun-Li, and she just, I don't know how the heck did they cast her. She was just very, very bland, like, and it was just, she was just so forgettable. And when, they literally, when she goes in a club and she beats up all those guys, and this, one of Chun-Li's signature in the game is the spinning bird kick.
Mm-hmm.
They literally botched the freaking spinning bird kick. It's supposed to be a mid-air attack, but no. She was literally looking like she was breakdancing, like, standing on her hands, while her feet are up and stuff like that. It was just very, very cheesy and stuff. But I mean, of course, they also cast. Oh my God! Don't get me started on the person they casted as Bison.
Did it look like
Neil.
that?
Yes, it looked like that. That's how the spinning bird kick looked like. But yes, the person playing Bison, and let me tell you right now, Bison is supposed to be, this really buff dictator who wants to rule the world. Who did they cast? Neil McDoff. Nothing wrong with Neil McDoff. I think he's a good actor. I especially liked him in Arrow as Damien Dark and stuff. But why did they have to cast him as Bison? They could have went with so many other actors to play Bison. You go from Raul Julia's as, in the first Bison in the first movie, but you go with Neil McDoff as Bison, and it's just like it was just a very like cliche villain trying to take over the world using like a device, to rule with it. But apparently, I guess the device is actually a person
They went from
whose name
Tuesday
is.
to Monday on this one.
Yeah, exactly. It literally did, and I guess the device was actually a person, and this person was Bison's daughter, Rose. But in the games, Rose and Bison are not father and daughter. Rose came across Bison, and she literally has the same psycho powers as Bison does, but there are no way related. So I don't know how you go from that. But yeah, and then poor Michael Clark Duncan. The guy is just awesome. You go from an Oscar nomination in The Green Mile to this piece of crap. Oh
The less
man.
said, the better about that situation. Oh,
Yeah, I don't know. This is also, the Jeremy Irons effect where, an actor has a good actor having the inability to pick good movies. And this is where Michael Clark Duncan, like I think after Daredevil when he played the Kingpin, this is where he just started becoming just really bad movies. And after this one, he just kind of like died down like into just, starring in like small TV roles. He eventually goes into like, a really supporting cast role in TV shows and stuff like that. But he plays Balrog, and he's just I actually thought he was the best part of the movie because he was just very funny and just that Balrog. Oh my god, dude.
quick,
Like,
change the channel. I know that was
yeah.
naive, but still.
No, yeah, exactly. Like it literally was that. It just literally made me want to change the channel stuff. But I mean, the other characters were just forgettable. Anyway, next one.
Oh dear. Well, I think I've lost a lot of steam when it comes down to this one, though. But I am my last film that I think out of all the video game movies I've seen, while I did give a lot of a lot of crap to Iowa Oni, I will give it some credit. Is that at least they were trying when they were making the film. It didn't turn out good, but at least they were trying when they made this film. Okay. I don't. I admittedly am missing out some information on this one, but my number one worst video game movie has to go to Alone in the Dark.
Oh no,
I
an
for,
Owen Ball movie, go.
yeah,
Get
Owen
it
Ball. Like
away. Get it away.
this is coming from a guy who literally tries to make his movies bad. You can't
like
ask for anything worse.
okay, so Owen Ball is a director who literally, I guess, I don't know how he got his money, but most of the movies he makes are just video game movies. There's Alone in the Dark, House of the Dead, Blood Rain, and of course Alone in the Dark, the most memorable one out of his filmography and stuff like that.
Which, by the way,
So
has nothing to do with the game it came from. May I add?
yeah, and the thing is, Uwe Ball is just the most egotistical director ever, and this dude literally has the literally cannot take freaking criticism at all. Like he literally goes and goes up to his critics and he tells them, you know what, I want to fight you in a boxing match, and he posted it on the internet for everyone to see.
It's
Like,
like,
I'm being serious. He literally challenges his critics to a boxing match.
no, I just didn't like your movie. It wasn't a good movie. Can I say
I
that
am
without
not
you punching me?
like, watch, Uwe Ball's gonna message us and say like, boxing match. I'm like, dude, don't bother.
I'm 20 years old. I don't know. I'm not gonna fight you.
Oh my god, your movie came out in
I don't remember
what
what it
what
did.
year did it came out in? Oh, it came out in 2005. Like, get over it already.
That came out in 2005?
Yeah, 2005.
It sure doesn't look like it came out in 2005. I thought it came out like in the mid 90s.
Nope, I'm
Oh
looking at
my
it now.
god,
It's
that's even
2005.
worse.
2005.
I gotta
But
see this
yeah,
for real. I'm sorry. Alone in the Dark movie. I don't believe this. I don't believe this for a second.
it's
Oh my
that
god, it
bad. You
did!
know, it literally. I guess it's that bad. But yeah, Uwe Ball. Just I don't know how he gets his fortune to make these damn video game
Oh
movies.
my
Like he
god.
literally, like you see his whole filmography, you will literally see that he has so many of them based off video game stuff, especially
Oh
Alone in
my
the Dark. But
god.
anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and let you talk about the movie.
Oh my god. Now I think I hate it even more. Because I thought the movie was like made in the mid 90s. No, it was made a decade afterwards. Oh my god. And it looks like, okay, I'm not the kind of person to harp on special effects or anything like that, but I was going to say, okay, fine, the movie came out like the 90s, CGI wasn't the biggest thing, whatever, I can forgive it that. No, it came out in 2005. This movie had a bigger budget than Io Oni. Okay, Io Oni didn't have the best special effects, but that was more of an independent film. This movie, there's no freaking excuse. There's no freaking excuse. Oh wait, yes there is. The guy is trying to make his movies crap. Because doesn't he have like
Oh
some
my.
kind of deal where like the worse the movie does in the box office, the more money he gets back or whatever.
Yeah, like I guess he has that. I don't know. Like it's crazy because if it does poorly, he just kind of like something has to do something with the Russians or something like that he gets his money from. I literally do not know how he gets his money back from it, and I think that's what really makes him make his other movies. So I mean, don't get me wrong. I think the guy's a video game fan, so I give him that. He's trying to make, his favorite movies and stuff like that. But if you look at movies like House of the Dead, oh my God. Okay. It's not in my, this movie, House of the Dead, isn't on my number one, but it's an honorable mention. I think many of you guys grew up with, the arcade games that, every time you go to like Chuck E. Cheese or Dave and Buster's or any other local arcade game, you would see that game right there, House of the Dead, where you pick up the gun and you're shooting zombies on the screen and everything like that. I don't know how this movie came, I don't know how this game came about to be a movie and stuff like that, but it was just the most cheesiest, bad movie ever. And this was like the era of like freaking The Matrix. Like this movie just really focused on like freaking slow-mos and everything. Like I think I remember one time the lead actress in the movie like literally jumped and then just slow-mo turning her and she goes to like the where it was before and he shoots a zombie. I'm like, was that necessary?
Oh my god. Time to inject monster blood into my own blood for some reason.
But yeah. But anyway, go ahead. Talk about we got way off topic.
Yeah,
Back
that's
to Alone
fine.
in the Dark.
Just the movie, like, aside from just everything else about it, it doesn't make much sense. The guy, he does he does an impossible. He literally does this guy who's established to be a regular human being basically does a flash kick while laying down prone on the floor. Makes no goddamn sense. He's beating up some guy who's completely indestructible, and then he questions, "Wait, this is odd." And he says that right after the fact, like, this is odd. Like, the guy took, like, how many bullets and he didn't go down. Now you're saying it's odd? Oh my god, the plot lines behind it. The doctor injecting himself with blood, with monster blood. The frickin'. The more I remember this movie, the more I just think to myself, yeah, I don't want to remember it. Okay, I will gladly take the Io Oni movie over this any day, though, because at least the Io Oni, while it made no goddamn sense, it at least was fun, and at least was somewhat faithful to its source material, despite the fact that it made no goddamn sense. Oh, oh my god.
Oh my God.
Anyway, I'm done on the Io Oni. I'm done on Alone in the Dark.
Alrighty.
You say whatever you
So,
want to say. Oh my god.
alrighty. So my number one worst video game movie, and I was very disappointed with this because I'm you guys know me personally. I'm a fighting game fan, and I am a particular fan of this series. This is literally like my number two favorite fighting game series of all time. First one being Street Fighter and stuff. And when I heard that they actually made a movie about it, I was surprised because I had not heard that they made a movie about it. And I remember I was coming across this reviewer who I guess reviews really bad video game movies, and he did one on this because he's a fighting game fan as well. I'm of course talking about Tekken, the movie.
Oh no.
Yes.
Oh no.
Yes.
No. No. We promised ourselves we would never go back to it.
We're going back to it.
No. What is the Tekken movie?
Okay, so Tekken came out in 2010. To my knowledge, I did not know it came out at that time. This movie is so bad that it is a 0% in Rotten Tomatoes. I am being serious.
I'm not even gonna look that up. I'm gonna take your word for it.
Like, okay, so pretty much the plot of it, and it literally didn't, like, it was nothing like the games. So apparently, I guess there's this huge war going around against these major companies and stuff like that. And then I guess, they're all divided into like, districts and sections and stuff like that. So they literally took the plot of freaking the Hunger Games and, broke up into like different districts and all that stuff. I really don't get it.
Hunger Games cross Tekken.
For real, right?
The crossover
So yeah, so
we
these
never
each
wanted to
companies are own a specific specific in the game it's just mainly G-Force versus the Mishima Saibatsu. But no, you have different other companies going at it and stuff like that. And one that just didn't make any sense because there is no company in the game just called Tekken. I'm being serious. There is a company called Tekken. And what did they call their city? Tekken City. I am being serious. So, of course, the main character being in the story is, of course, the recently added main character in the game is Jin Kazama and stuff like that. Pretty much talking about his origins and stuff like that. How... Okay, so, like, Jin in the game, let me tell you. So Jin Kazama first appeared in the Tekken 3, and after the death of her mom against a monster named Ogre, he set out his sights for his revenge and stuff like that. And thanks to his grandpa, Heihachi Mishima, they found him. Jin beat up Ogre, but then Ogre turned into this giant bat monster. But Jin was able to defeat him, but then Heihachi Mishima double crosses him, shoots him, and thus Jin becomes Devil Jin and stuff like that. And then ever since then, Jin's just been kind of hiding everything, trying to be the best, trying to get revenge against his grandpa and everything. And yeah, and like I guess he figured out that his dad is still alive, which is
Heihachi?
Yeah, Kazuya Mishima and stuff. But guess what? None of that is in the movie.
Try to stay as disconnected from your freaking source material as you can. None of that. Tekken.
None of it is in the movie. No. Jin is a scavenger, lives with his mom and everything. And apparently, I guess, they're hosting this big tournament and stuff like that. Ooh, called, I guess, Iron Fist, not called the Iron Fist tournament, just called Iron Fist. I'm like, okay, I guess.
Iron Fist. But, you gotta sound more hip with the kids. Iron Fist.
Yeah. So, and then like, okay, so I guess what made, oh my gosh, Jin's mom went out the worst way ever. Like they literally, let me tell you though, the Jax and the damn thing are just soldiers in armor. When Jax in the game are like these robots army and stuff. So I don't know how you go from a robot to just like a plain army with just like armor and stuff like that. So I guess the Jacks just blow up Jin's house, killing her mom. Yeah, yeah, they literally went the worst way possible.
Oh.
And then I guess, he enters the tournament, and then his first challenge is, of course, uh, for martial law. Martial law is supposed to be this Bruce Lee inspired character. Of course, they cast some UFC fighter, I forget his name. But oh my God, like, okay, so martial law in the game is very different from the movie. Let's just put it out that way. The characters you love in this game are not like the ones from the game. So just putting it out there. And what makes it worse, the reason I was suckered in is because, well, the characters had the costumes in the game, and I was suckered in that. And then when I saw the movie, I'm like, oh God, they tricked me.
If they look nothing like the characters, I can at least disarray them as they're not the characters.
Yeah,
No.
exactly. Exactly. And what's really surprising too is that the person they casted for Heihachi was actually the same actor who played Shang Tsung in the Mortal Kombat movie.
Oh no, that's
But
even
oh my God.
worse.
I mean, okay, this actor is a good actor. But like again, I guess he just really starred in like a lot of like martial arts movies and stuff like that. All right, let me go ahead and show you how he looked like as Shang Tsung, and then compare to him in freaking Tekken. But again, I mean, he did. The actor did okay, I guess, but it's the way he looked like in the movie was just a very big eyesore. So
Was he wearing blue lipstick?
no, no, he's not wearing blue lipstick. But anyway, and then of course the guy, it's just the actors are just all terrible, and they go ahead and make a love interest between Jin and Christy. I'm like, okay, I guess. uh, like I guess. I mean, I and Christy in the game's always been interested in Eddie, and Eddie is also in this game, but he doesn't do much. Like a lot of characters that are fan favorites don't really do much. And let me tell you, the Yoshimitsu, pretty sure everyone's familiar with him. Yoshimitsu, the sword welding like warrior, literally looks like just a Megazord, like a really like those
Megazord?
Megazord. Yeah, like a Megazord. Like he literally just looks like a Megazord.
I'm sorry.
Like the costume that they have for him.
I'm
It's
sorry.
just it's just a really terrible costume.
Can you show me a picture of this though? Because I'm actually kind of curious about it.
Yeah, I'll show you right now.
Like,
So hold on
sorry,
real quick.
I don't mean to interrupt you though,
So
but oh my goodness.
so yeah, okay. So okay, I got the images for Heihachi. Now, you're gonna probably laugh at this.
I'll keep my laughter in. I'm not sure if I have anything left after everything else, but
All
okay.
right. All right. So this is how he looked like in come on, hurry up, load. All right. So this is how he looked like in Mortal Kombat, which which I don't mind.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
actually how Shang Tsung looks. But this is how he looked like in Tekken. And
Okay.
prepare yourselves, everyone.
I can
Prepare
respect
yourselves. This is how you look like as Hihashi.
that. Okay. 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 It's an attempt. I will give it that. It's an attempt.
It was an attempt,
E for
but
effort.
oh my God,
It's an attempt.
it was so funny how he looked like. Oh my God, it's just they tried. At least they tried, but it's just the choreography of the movie was just very terrible. The acting was terrible. There was no plot. It made no sense, and yeah, it was just all over the place and stuff. I could honestly go on about all these movies based off fighting games like Dead or Alive and King of Fighters and a couple of the Street Fighter movies and stuff. But it just seems like they can never coexist, besides Assassin's Fist, but that was just a fan made movie. But
Oh,
I mean, when it's up to Hollywood, they always like to change things around, and they want to sucker them in. They gotta put the costume that they actually wear in the movie. But I don't know. It seems like we can never get like a good uh fighting game movie based off a fighting game and stuff, because it's been attempted so many times. And I just hope that the TV show, that I guess, because the same guys who made the Street Fighter Assassin's Fist just recently got a contract for a TV
hmm.
to make it a TV show. And now, honestly, I hopefully that the Street Fighter TV show is will get will be good. Like, I really do hope so.
I I can honestly, for the sound of it, I think it will be at least decent. I think right now that we can get a decent start off of this from the sound of it.
Yeah, hopefully. Like, I do hope so. But yeah, that's all I have to say. I mean, it's just that I did want to talk about, I guess, honorable mentions and stuff like that. Just pretty much movies that I guess we didn't have the time to talk to, like, were on our list, but we wanted to break it down like a top four thing.
Yeah.
So my honorable mentions for best ones are, of course, uh, the first three Pokemon movies. Assassin's Creed. Yeah, I actually thought that movie was okay, at least.
Okay.
Um, and another one, actually. Oh, let me pull out my list that I had. Oh God. What I thought was I mentioned this before, was Resident Evil, the first one and the second one. I thought those movies were okay. Um, and Warcraft, the movie based off World of Warcraft. I thought that
Hmm.
movie was okay too.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I haven't seen it
for the
though.
worst,
Oh, go ahead.
what happened? No,
Oh,
go ahead. Sorry.
as for Warcraft, I haven't seen it though. From what I've heard though, is that at least it's if you're a, it's at least it's a film though that fans can enjoy. Like if you enjoy Warcraft, the say World of Warcraft, the game series, then you'll enjoy Warcraft. And you know what? I think
Yeah.
that's all I can really ask for in a video game movie.
Yeah, and then I think that's pretty much it for my pretty much it for my best ones. Worst ones, I had to go with, like I mentioned before, the fighting game, the ones based off fighting games, which was King of Fighters, and uh Dead or Alive, and the first Street Fighter movie, and uh Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
No,
um,
no.
uh,
That's
and
that's a story for another day.
yeah, and then surprisingly, the sequel to the Tekken movie. Yes, they made a
Oh
sequel
my
about it. They made a sequel.
Oh my god! And I was looking for the Tekken images, and I just saw a big two. I'm thinking, there's no way this is real.
It is real. It really
Oh.
is. I mean, being serious.
No, thank you.
But
I don't want just after everything you've told me about it. I'm not sure if I even want to know about the second one.
I'll show you the review about it. Like, the YouTuber that I found, his name is Dayasha Thirst. He rips on the movie, dude. Like, you need to watch it. I'll send a link to it.
Oh
But
well.
yeah, other movies that I thought were the worst, Tomb Raider: Cradle of Life and Doom. I want to talk about Doom. I wanted to talk about Doom. I went add as my number one, but of course I did want to talk. I thought it was a debate between Doom or Tekken, and I just thought Tekken was the worst one. Talking about Doom is, of course, the guy who stars in it was, of course, Dwayne The Rock Johnson. And we all know The Rock is going to be in another video game movie called Rampage, a game based off, these giant monsters that go around just beating up buildings and stuff like that.
And as a
And I
video
just,
game fan, oh sorry, I just want to pull this out there. I feel bad for interrupting, but I just want to say, as a fan of video games, as a fan of kaiju movies, aka giant monster movies, and as sort of a fan of one of the Rampage games I played, I'm hoping it will be decent. I'm just hoping it will be decent. That's
But
all I want.
yeah, I just hope that, like I know The Rock has been like in a lot of freaking movies from 2 years ago and stuff.
Hmm.
I thought some of the movies that he was in, like Central Intelligence, I actually did enjoy quite the Jumanji movie and stuff like that. Um, it's just that I just hope that this
Moana.
movie Moana, that's
Moana.
another
There we
one.
go.
That was another one. He's actually great in that movie. What can I say except you're welcome? But yeah, but I just hope that, he learns his lesson and that I guess he can make this movie a little decent. It just really doesn't depend on like, I guess him. It just depends on like, I guess the directors of the movie. So yeah. Um, but I mean, we'll see. But I think the best part about the Doom movie, though, is that first-person shooter scene. Like, I think that was the only good part about the movie, because like it literally takes the game like right there, and then the music that hits, that intense music that every Doom game has, and just really makes it awesome. But I think the best part about the movie was, of course, The Rock's, cost constant like freaking constant like cussing in that movie. It's just really really funny,
You
but
can
yeah.
tell he's a heel from the WWF.
Yeah, he was a heel throughout that movie. Yeah, I was okay with it because he plays a good bad guy, especially since I grew up, him in WWF and stuff. When I first started with WWF, he started out as a heel. So I really didn't mind this. So yeah, he played a good heel, especially in that movie too. So, you could tell he knew he was going to be in a bad movie. So he just, went with it and had fun with the part and stuff. So yeah. But yeah, I think that's all I wanted to talk about Doom. But yeah,
Yeah.
so what about your honorable mentions?
Honorable mentions. Right now, I don't have any. I haven't seen it much in the form of video game movies, and I think the only ones I remember seeing, though, I don't really remember that much about. But the only other video game movies I can really recall off the top of my head are one of the Resident Evil movies you brought up, though, but again, I hardly remember it, so I can't really
Okay.
bring it up. And the other ones are just the other Pokemon movies, though, which some of them are kind of give and takes, though. The first one, okay, a lot of people are kind of ripping in a new one, though, but I don't know. The first one was still at least entertaining, if not for Mewtwo. The
Hmm.
best, I guess, out of all the Pokemon movies, I would have to go with the third one. I would have to say the third one, in my opinion, is probably still the best, at least. If you want to hear my opinion,
I
at
just
least.
couldn't get I just couldn't get over the fact Entei always saying, "If that is what you wish, if that is what you wish." Like I'm like,
As you
can he stop saying?
wish.
I was all like, "Oh my God, can he stop saying that?" And
He's
it's
like,
like, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I thought that was my favorite one too, but what killed me was just Entei. Like literally, like
as you
Entei's
wish.
supposed to be like this. Like he goes and follows this girl around, that this girl literally thought that was his dad and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, if that is what you wish.
Oh my.
Hello.
Oh yeah, I'm still there. Let's see if I can find it. Okay, here it is. Yeah, here we go. That's as soon as you brought that up, that's what it reminded me of.
Where's that from?
The Princess Bride. Come on, don't screw up on me. Okay, there we go.
Okay.
But anyway, that's all I had to really mention. It doesn't seem like we'll be able to get into the cartoons or TV shows like we wanted to, though. But these discussions always go on for a very, very, very long time. So, oh well.
Yeah.
It's what we
Yeah, I
do,
think we
though.
should just end it here, but yeah. Alrighty then, everyone. I just final thoughts as just that I guess,
There's some good video game
from what I've
movies.
heard from the new Tomb Raider movie, saying that it was actually okay, pretty good and stuff. I just hope that, they actually learn and just, start making better movies based off video games. And, I just hope that Rampage is at least decent and just not another, Michael Bay type movie where the movie sucks, but yet it makes a lot of money, and I'm pretty sure it is gonna do that because well, it's The Rock. He's the
Hmm.
highest paid actor right now, so yeah,
Or one
I'm
of at
being
least.
serious. Yeah, I think I've seen the list. He's actually number one. He
Oh.
made the most money last year.
And John Cena was making fun of him about it a few years ago. Well, look who's laughing now.
Oh my
But that,
gosh.
but
But
that,
yeah, I just hope like they
that's a
learned and
different
that,
topic.
some of the reboots from other movies or TV shows will actually be good and stuff. I'm just really looking forward to uh what I guess the TV show of Street Fighter will be about. I'm looking forward to the Netflix Resident Evil reboot. I'm also looking forward for that one, and I'm just really looking forward for Rampage because that's the game that I grew up playing with my brother. So yeah,
There you go. Well,
yeah,
anyway,
that's
we'll go ahead.
yeah, that's pretty much it.
Well, it was great talking with you again, Mando. But I guess we should end this call off. So
All
it was great.
right.
It was great doing another video with you guys. So until then, do you have anything else you want to say to the viewers before we sign off?
Well, look forward to our next discussion as we talk about sushi. What's the game again?
Sushi strikers,
Sushi Strikers.
and
Yay! Coming
hopefully
in April Fools.
Ghostman will be there.
Hopefully Ghostman. Ghostman, if you're watching this, you gotta be there.
Oh well. Anyway, see you guys till then.
Alrighty, see you guys.